Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel, or top of the morning to you. I'm in a town called Straffan. I'm actually returning from business from Dublin, just on my way back towards the Cork area where I'm staying, and I found this place on the way back, and in actual fact this was built in 1250, and it's very historic. Apparently it does have some hauntings here. There was a replacement church built just over the road, actually adjacent to this place, and I think that was built in the 1600s. I'll leave details in the description, I usually would, but I thought I'd give you a treat, give myself a treat, and show you around this historic place. Hope you enjoy this one. Speak to you shortly. Right, okay. Let's give you a little walk through. I obviously recorded coming up through the cemetery, up the pathway to this derelict structure, which is the original church, obviously. Bit of a strange thing, there's a couple of interments internally here. They obviously must have been interred after this place was left for rack and ruin. Bit of a strange thing though, isn't it, in the middle of an old church. But in any case, they're here. I'll take you for a walk round there on the way back to the car before I leave. But I've got a camera just up there on the wall, not sure you can see it, just up in that tree there, just facing out into this archway or this entrance, because you never know what it'll pick up. Probably nothing during the day, but as you can see there's an old tower there. I wonder if I can get into the bottom of it, but obviously the wood is taking over. It takes over quite quickly once these places become abandoned. They start to return back to earth. I'll give you a little look in here in a minute. I just want to show you the main graveyard. Certainly some old graves in here. Looks like some more modern ones as well. It's obviously expanded it over the centuries, and I'll imagine from the new church over the road, burials all taking place over here still, so this is still used. So let's just drop down into this main graveyard quickly, just to give you a little look. Yeah, as you can see, you've got some older ones over there at the back of the cemetery, and you come up to these more modern ones. See, this M1 here is 1950, and someone's left some flowers here. 1990. Oh, look at this one. That says 1386. W.E.G. Bagwell. Look at that. The whole grave's been taken over by ivy. That's amazing. And someone's taken the time to cut this regularly. 1385. I think that's the oldest one I've seen. And here much more modern ones. Look at this. 1999. 2013. So as you can see, much more modern. Let's just take a little walk through briefly. They always fascinate me, these graveyards. Moira Duff, Moira, 2022. Obviously you can tell we're in Ireland with some of the names. Yeah, look, Edward Cronley. Look at that one over there, look. Paul Stanley with that new one with that lovely cross. Let's come over to it a minute. Fascinating. This is obviously a family plot. As you can see, there you go. Loving memory of Daddy. Loving memory of a dear brother. So yeah, certainly a lot of burial, family interments here. Fascinating. Christina, called Queenie. That was her name in life, called her Queenie. But yeah, fascinating. Look like they're well kept though. These are still well maintained, but they are quite new, so you would expect them to be. Let's just come up to this main one up the end here. Oh yeah, look, Maloney, Malloy. Definitely Ireland. Let's see what I might do. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm going to put a spirit box on. Or I may even try Sia actually. I think I'll try Sia. Let's do that. Let's walk that around with it and we may get some images. Yeah, so that's 1917, 2009 and his wife Jacqueline. So 1926 to 2016, 1917 to 2009. And then we've got some poorer graves here obviously with wooden crosses. Oh, that looks like a child's grave. Oh, what a shame. County Kildare. Doesn't say the age, but that was a child. It had to have been. Yeah, these are much more, I'm not saying pauperish graves. The cost of burial these days is phenomenal. So they're not paupers' graves, they're just a bit more economical. But why should you spend thousands and thousands on someone that's died? But a fascinating graveyard. Look at that little house over there, little bungalow. Just looks out into the graveyard from the, looks like the bedrooms. Okay, let's get you to the church. That's what I'm predominantly here for. If you look up there, you'll see the new church steeple there, just over the top of that tree, or the bush area. I'm not sure if I can get access to that. If I can, I'll have a quick look before I leave, just to see what the new church looks like. But let's come back to the older part of the structure. And as you can see, look, the original church, you can see the original outside wall. Let's have a walk up there. These are obviously, I bet there were graves here at one time. But look at that. Just look at that, it's beautiful. Stunning. It's all flint, layered flint. What do we have here? Well, it goes into another portion of the church. It's all just covered now, look at it. There's actually a grave there, look. It's just been taken over. That's weird. I wonder if that was originally a crypt or something. And look over here. This is the older section of the churchyard. Let's see if we can get some ages here. At least there's not any visitors as yet. What do we got here? That looks like 1361. As I said, much older. Look at these at the back here. Let's see if I can get to them. I mean, these are seriously old. Look at these. Unbelievable. Fascinating gravestones. Look at that one over there. See if I can zoom in on it. That's as far as I can get. I don't want to go over there because the ground's absolutely sodden. But yeah, look, they're just buried in time. Fascinating. And obviously look at this tree, look. Just taken over. They're obviously maintaining the newer section of the graveyard and just forgetting about this. I'm going to grab this camera up here and I'm going to walk around the side, see if I can get in the tower. So let me grab this camera. I'm just going to shut this down. If it'll go off, bear with me. Yep, there it goes. And we'll get round to the side. I just want to see if I can see in the tower. Let me just put this away in my pocket. But I've had nothing come through on Sia yet, which is really odd. Nothing at all. You'd expect to get something, wouldn't you? Oh, there's people out there. Let's just come round here. It doesn't look like we can get in this tower, which is a bit odd. I can't seem to find an entrance for it. But we've made our way round to these graves now. It's very odd that there's no entrance. Let's come back on ourselves. Yeah, nothing. I can't understand where the entrance to this tower was. It's just not accessible. Bit of an odd situation. I'm just wondering if this had 2 floors and the only way into the tower was through there. It must have been a passageway because there's no ground floor entrance to it. Very odd. Hey ho. Let's walk you down and through, give you a little look, and then we'll feed our way back out and I can start my way back to the hotel. I'm here for a few more days at the moment. I'm just going to leave Cork tomorrow morning and head back towards Belfast, and that's where I'll be flying home from on Friday. So I will leave it there, guys. So until the next one, you take care of yourselves. God bless.